Alright, welcome back to another video, guys. And today we've got our Karcher k1700 cube. This is not the stand-up one with wheels. This is going to be the small one that you can mount on like the wall or somewhere of your choice that it's going to basically stay for the most part. Otherwise, you can take it down a little bit. So let's open this up and see what we got. We got a couple of modifications we're going to do to this. We're not going to use the wand and probably the hose because I have my own. It's kind of janky anyway, so we don't want to use that stuff. This is rated at 1700 psi at 1.2 gallons per minute, which is kind of low, but if you put a bigger orifice on these, it'll get you more. You take down the pressure to about 1,000, and you can get more gallons per minute, which is sufficient for washing cars or cleaning things off like my lawnmower and all that. So let's get this opened up and we'll take a look and see what we've got. Alright, so we got these manuals and everything in the box. That can go out over here. Let's see what else we got. Looks like we got the main unit. Alright, so let's relocate over here, and my son Sean, who's helping me out, will cut this open, and we'll see what's right here in this box. All the things we're pretty much not going to be using was in that box. So the benefit of this one is it uses your normal fittings for here, so you don't have to get any particular fittings and stuff on here. So you got your, looks like your water inlet right here on the side. And then your pressure washer hose is probably going to go right here on the front. You got the soap dispenser, which we are never going to use because that's a waste of time on a pressure washer. If I want it soaped a particular way, I'll spray it on the car separately, or I'll use a water cannon. Looks like right here is where it comes with your fittings. So we'll see how these look. It looks like it's got a fitting for your hose, but we're going to use quick disconnect, so we'll see if we'll end up using these or not. I'm going to end up getting probably a 3/4 inch threaded stainless steel braided hose that's going to go from my PEX pipe outlet that's going to be installed here in the garage that I'm going to do, and it's going to go directly into this, so I'm not going to have to hook up a hose because I don't want to have to hook up a hose to do that. I'm going to tell you the main reason I chose this one. You can find a million different reviews on YouTube and everywhere else, and I'll be honest with you, go visit Obsessed Garage on YouTube. Matt Mormon does a phenomenal job at explaining all these. He does tons of tests on every residential, just about main brand pressure washer that's out there, Ryobi and Greenworks and all those. He does the actual gallons per minute, timing it, how much pressure with a dial and all that stuff. At the very end, this is actually the one he said for residential, on a budget. Obviously, that's what I am. This is going to do the job. So that's what I went with. He does tons of tests, has his own detailing garage, sells products and all that. And this is what he went with because it got the best gallons per minute for the pressure at 1,000 psi. He took everything down to 1,000 psi and did it at whatever was the best. Obviously, this isn't the best, period. You could get a Kranzel or another other brand, and you get really good, but you'll pay $3,000 for those, or $2,000. So for a residential pressure washer, I will be washing my Mustang, my Dodge Cummins, maybe my wife's minivan probably, and some other stuff, cleaning off my zero-turn Skag mower and stuff. So this right here, it's going to mount up on the wall. I still got to get my PEX pipe put in. I've got my PEX pipe right here in my bag, which I haven't even undone. I got it the other day. I've got to get all my fittings, and so I'm going to run a separate water line, which I've explained in other videos before, up to this. So this will be mounted either on a shelf or on the wall, and I'll have this all separate. So it'll be on its own water line, so I can just take this out, turn it on, and start blasting my cars away with my foam cannon. So that's where we're at. This is I'm excited to get this thing hooked up, get a permanent mount for it and all that. So we'll see what happens, and y'all stay tuned. We'll see y'all later. All right, y'all just saw my new pressure washer, and now I'm gonna start installing this PEX pipe. As you can see behind me over here, I got a little ambitious, and I already started running my line from my pressure washer to my PEX pipe and to my cutoff valve. And I just installed the first hose bib. I'm installing 2 hose bibs on the outside. One's going to be higher for like a dedicated line for wash buckets. The other one is going to be lower, about 5-gallon bucket high or a little higher than that, to just to accommodate the kids and another hose and other stuff. So let me get this rearranged. I've got to move my workbench and stuff out, and then we'll pick it back up there. All right, so I've got my fitting in right here, my PVC or my PEX pipe for my T fitting. That's my first faucet bib. I'll show you all that here in a minute. And now I've got to run PEX off of this, and then down the wall to my second faucet bib that's going outside. It's going to be a lower one, like a little higher than a 5-gallon bucket, make it easier on the kids and anything else we want to hook to that, as far as a low hose or something. So what we're going to do is I've already pretty much got it measured through the wall on how much PEX you need. PEX pipe goes into these fittings. The faucet bib and these all the PEX fittings, the 1/2 inch at least, they go in about 3/4 of an inch. So you got to accommodate 3/4 on both sides. We've got thick walls on this house, so that's not going to catch. Let me go out here. Yeah, so it's 8 3/4 through the wall, which means I need to add 1.5 inches to accommodate going into each of these fittings. So we're going to cut our PEX pipe at 10 1/4. That accommodates everything we need for this particular one. All right, let's make sure this will go through the wall correctly where I need it to. All right, so I finally got that hose bib in the wall, or through the wall. Now I got to connect my I'm going to connect the hose bib to the wall and get my fittings going. Hose bibs coming out the wall everywhere. Alright, so you can see this. Right down there on that one, you see it. I know I drilled an extra hole. I was trying to get close, and it's hard to get measurements because the outside's different level where it starts from this side. So alright, so that's connected. It's a little further out from the wall than I would want, but that's alright. It's not that far. It doesn't protrude out too much, maybe 1 inch. Rather that than not being there enough. Alright, so that's in there. So what we're going to do now is we've got to connect this to this line, which I can do. Alright, so that's connected. It's easy as that. If you've never used PEX, it's pretty much dummy proof. And then we're going to connect this. We're going to come out a little bit, go down, and do an elbow, and then straight through. So let's get some measurements on where this is going to be. So, we'll say 5 inches. I think 5 inches is a safe bet. I don't have all the shark bite fittings. There was some I was still missing that I'm waiting on to come in, but that's alright though, because I can at least get this part knocked out, and then when the other ones come in, we'll finish this up. Alright, that's good. That's good. Alright, so that's in, okay. I don't know if I like how that is. I might have to do. So we're gonna, yeah, it should be perfect. I know you can watch tons of videos on how this stuff goes in, and people that show you how to use it and all that stuff, so you don't have to watch this video. But this is more for this is going to be more for installing the pressure washer. Move this thing up. This is going to be more for installing just a residential pressure washer, kind of a permanent install for a fairly inexpensive wash, car washing equipment. So I'll take you through all this when I get this all finished up and show you how I have it. I mean, I don't have a hose reel yet. I didn't really want to spend this. Pressure washing hose reels are like $150+ for a decent one, because they take more pressure. I don't know if you can use a hose reel or not. I don't think you can, but I'm not willing to try it right now. So I just did like an inexpensive, I spent like $3.50 on these hooks. So I just wind it up here. My most expensive investment is going to be all this PEX pipe and fittings and the pressure washer. So let's get the rest of this stuff in and get as far as I can. And when more fittings come in, I'll finish the video up then. So let's see what we got to do. All right. That's all for today, I guess. I just couldn't wait for my order to come in from Amazon, because it's saying June 4th, which is ridiculous. So I emailed the seller, see if we could cancel, because it hadn't even shipped yet, and it was by chance the same price at Home Depot. So I just went to Home Depot and got them, because I want to get this for the most part done today. So, all right. We're at the bottom of this T, which is the outside faucet. So what we're going to do now, since most of this is going to have to be unwound anyway now, since this is really curled, I'm going to take one of my many shark bit wall, what do they call these things? These wall hooks. And they just go around the cord, and then you can, the line, alright, just like that. And it's going to turn all the way. I think we're almost done. I've got some mounts for my 2 wands. I just bought a short wand, which is this one right here. It's got the short 11 or 12 inch. This is I think a 14 inch. But it's got the quick disconnect for my different attachments, and a quick disconnect here. It's got the good slant to it, so when I want to clean my wheels and clean close, then that's what it is. I've got a M22 to 3/8 coming, so it'll be here probably tomorrow. So I've got a mount. I'm going to be mounting this about right here, and it should be able to slide right out like that. And then this is for my gas pressure washer. This is for my gas one, so whenever I do stuff for that, I'm going to have PVC mounted here, and PVC just the length of this. So this is going to sit in here like this. You can't sit it like this because of how wide this is. It pushes it from the wall. So it's going to be about right there. And as you let it out, you can pull like this, turn it, and then pull it all the way out. That way it doesn't interfere with this, but it still mounts it to the wall. Real nice. The other one will be over there, so it'll be real nice, out of the way, obscured. So let me walk you around real quick before I start doing all that, and I'm going to show you what we have hooked up here. My pressure washer setup is, this is actually a washer fitting because it's a standard fitting for a hose. So stainless, it goes through there to my fittings. I've got a cutoff valve right here. As you can see, that works. Water will come right through there. I don't have my hose hooked up to it yet. And then there's my first fitting for my other faucet. Other faucet is down there. So as you can see, it runs along the wall. And back here, you can see the fitting right there. So that's where it tees in. That line is the one that goes out to the front of the house, but I was tired of that, so we got it going on here. All right, let's take you outside, show you these fittings. So I've got one up high here. That high fitting is going to have a hose that comes down to it with a nozzle on the end, so I can fill buckets up if I need to, and it's just easier to get to. And then I've got a lower bucket down there. It's to actually hook the regular hose to, the kids can get to. It's about 4 inches above a regular 5-gallon bucket. So that's how that one works. Those are all SharkBite fittings. So now I've got to get this place cleaned up because it's bugging the crap out of me. I'll get this stuff mounted real quick. This is just a little step in my pressure washing, car cleaning setup that I want to have done in my garage. And it's come a long way in the last probably 4 to 6 weeks. If you haven't gone back and watch my cabinet review and install of my Husky cabinets, if you haven't seen that, it gives kind of my view on the on why you should buy those and why they seem to be sturdy and fair quality for the price I paid for them. And then, of course, my garage lighting, which is what I'm videotaping in now, which it's pointed outside so you can't really tell that much. But the Barina, like everybody reviews on YouTube and everything and raves about them, it is all the rave. They seem to be great lights for a really low price and easy setup. So watch that video if you haven't. So this is kind of part 3 of the pressure of the garage organization. Gets me kind of back into where I need to be on having all this organized and have this easy where I can just turn this on and off. And actually, I don't have a hose reel yet. As I explained earlier, the hose reels are ungodly expensive, so I'm going to forego that for now. What I'll just have to do is pull this off the wall, connect this up real quick to my quick disconnect I have coming, and just do it that way. So that's just the way it's going to have to be for now. So I'm going to get this other stuff put in, and then hopefully this helps somebody and helps them give an idea on where to get this stuff. So I might go into further detail later on how much stuff costs, on how to keep it in a budget if that's what you're trying to go on. So all right, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. All right, welcome back, guys. This is obviously in the same video. I'm finally finishing up the pressure washer setup and take you through real quick on what it took, maybe how much it ran, and then and I'll try and list everything I have or where I got it in the description. Some of this stuff can be found at your local Home Depot or Lowe's. So I've already gone over where I ran the PEX pipe for my extra water line. All that subject on how much you need, or if you're going to splice into water, or if you already have water running off of it. My PEX pipe, I got a 50-foot, it's half-inch by 50. I think Lowe's had it on their website. I think it's about $15 for 50 foot. I think I bought it on Amazon. It was the same price. I didn't have to go out for it. All your shark bite fittings is what I used. I'm using nine fittings total. That'll all depend also on your setup. They run roughly about $7 a piece, I'd say, on average. I bought them all on Amazon rather than going to Lowe's or Home Depot for them. The cutoff valve here, it's actually, that's considerably cheaper on Amazon. It's about $13 versus in the store, I think it was somewhere around $16 or $18. Like I said, this was just easier ordering on Amazon, getting everything and not having to worry about going out. I wasn't in a big rush to get it done. So the hose I already had. It is a Neptune 3/8 inch, let me look here. I can't remember how many PSI this is. It's made in the USA. It's 3/8 inch. It's Neptune 3000 3/8 inch PSI. So it's 3000 PSI. We have a place called Walter A. Woods. It's a big supplier here in town that you can walk in and have stuff specially made. You can get this hose and they can put the fittings on, crimp them, all that kind of stuff for you. I had this done years ago. It's a 50-foot hose. I've got 3/8 inch female fittings on the end of it. All my fittings, I think I bought those, all but one of them, but I think I bought them all pretty much on Amazon as well. Most of them are brass. I think some of the male fittings I've gotten for my pressure washer connection are stainless. Those were all bought on Amazon also. I've got two brackets here holding up my hose for the meantime. This is eventually going to get changed. I'm going to get a hose rail that hooks up under here that faces the outside of my garage so I can just unreel it and use it as needed versus having it on this. But this was an inexpensive way to do it because the hose reel, I think the one I was looking at getting was around $80, which isn't that much, but then you got to get fittings for it and everything to fit your line that comes out from your pressure washer. So right now I was looking at spending another $125 or something on all that, and I just, for right now, this will do the job for me because I don't use it all the time. But these little brackets here, I got in a 2-pack at Home Depot, I believe, and they were like $3.50 for the set. So I mean, that was dirt cheap. Came with screws and everything. So I think it's supposed to rate up to 25 or 30 pounds. I don't think this is worth more than like 10 or 15 pounds. So that's a great place for it in the meantime. My hose here that comes off my pressure washer, it's actually, I believe, I think it's made, it says right here, I haven't taken it off yet, it's a shark bite connection, 3/4 inch, which is what comes out. It's actually, I think, made for a washer or a hot water heater, I think is what it is. But it's 3/4 inch, which is, I think, your normal typical hose outlet. 3/4 inch stainless hose to shark bite fitting. So it just goes right into my shark bite fitting. I just drilled a hole in my my wood platform here and got that. I want to say that was around $13. That's a 18-inch connection. That's also Amazon, but it's actual shark bite brand, and I got that off of Amazon as well. There's longer. I think there's a 12-inch, an 18-inch, 24-inch, I believe, which I could have gone for the 24 just to have a little more flexibility, but I didn't. I got lucky. I chose an 18, and it seemed to work out good here because I just got a little extension PEX pipe that comes up to my shark bite fitting, or the shark bite fitting that goes on it. So anyway, the pressure washer, I got it online on a website. I think it was called Tom's Hardware. It's in another state. I'm in Tennessee. It was in another state. They shipped it. I think it was $112. Came with a couple fittings, It came with a fitting for the side where the hose goes, but I didn't use that fitting. I just went directly onto this. It came with your wand. It's a 35-foot electrical hose. I guess because it's an electric pressure washer, they give it plenty of room for you to be able to go. I've got it all wound up and put back in the tray that's in the back so you don't see it. It also came with a pressure washer hose right here, which obviously I'm not using because I don't like those. You got to get special fittings anyway to get on them if you're going to transfer them. And I think that was only like a, I don't know what this is, 20 or 25 foot. It's not that long. I like the 50-foot hose. It works best for me, and it's heavy duty. I've ran this thing across concrete driveways and everything, and it's, you can see it's marred and scratched, but it's there's no chunks taken out of it. This thing is extremely durable. The shelf. Let's talk about the shelf here. I got these. I want to say these are zinc plated, but they look good. They're like brushed nickel or brushed aluminum or whatever. Extremely nice. I got those at Home Depot as well. I think it was like $15 for the set. Dirt cheap. And I just went to Ace Hardware and got some 1-inch, I think they're 3/4 inch or 1-inch bolts, like kind of like small lag bolts or lag screws that go into the wood with a couple of washers just to take up the difference so it didn't come through the top. But I've got a 2x6 and a 2x4 that's screwed directly into my wall. I had to find a stud, so I used that, and then I put this, I had a piece of birch wood, which I just painted real nice with the gray that I chose to match my workbench, and I just went ahead and painted this whole back wall here so everything looked the same on this. But I just mounted these angle pieces to the back wall here, and then I made this flush with the 2x6 that I have right here, so it's just all the way back, so it created more room for me. Anyway, so those cost me about 15 bucks. Like I said, the pressure washer was around 112. This stainless hose here, I think, was 13 and some change. PEX pipe will run you, for a 50-foot roll, it ran me $15. All your shark bite fittings are about $7 on average. Your cutoff switch, I like my cutoff switch because the way this is tied into my water line that already runs to another outlet I have out front, it has a cutoff switch right behind the water heater. So I always have water running to these new faucet. I have a faucet bib here and a faucet bib down there. I added a shark bite faucet bib. And those are, honestly, those are cheaper at Lowe's or Home Depot than Amazon, like half the price. Those are like $8 at Lowe's, I think, when online they were like $13 or $15. But I like it because I have water running to these all the time, so the kids can use one, I can always use one, and I don't have pressure going to my pressure washer on the fittings and everything. I didn't like the fact of water running pressure to the pressure washer when I wasn't using it. So when I want to use it, I hook everything up, I flip this switch, I have water to it, I flip it on, and it's good to go. So anyways, so this was 13. These little hooks here are $3.50 for the set. Depending on if you have a hose or have to buy a hose, you'll just have to look into how much that costs. That could run you 50 to 75 bucks. Let's talk about I bought this, and I know it's kind of cheap. It's a max 4,000 PSI. This is I think this is a 14-inch, 30-degree angle for washing the top of a car or truck. Got a quick disconnect. These were also bought on Amazon, fairly inexpensive. I want to say this was probably $13. This was about the same cost, so you're looking at about $25 in this. I bought the fitting here. This was an Amazon fitting as well, stainless. It just screws on, so it goes into my 3/8 inch. I've got different nozzles that can go on here. My foam cannon can easily hook to here, so I'm not having to deal with a huge wand that I'll show you in a minute that I use on my gas pressure washer. But anyways, so this is about $25 setup here. Makes it really easy to clean. You might have noticed my holders for my big pressure washer one and my small one. These are actually PVC pipe. I cut them down just whatever I figured I needed. PVC pipe I spray painted black, let them dry real good in the sun. I got these are 1.5 inches, I think, clamps or U-clamps that just go to the wall. So I've got those. You can get those in the plumbing area, I believe, at Lowe's or Home Depot. So basically, it does have the angle, but it's not going to affect it as much. So you just take this, it goes through the bottom, and that goes all the way over the coupler, and it goes right up against the wall. Same with my big one here. Sorry, excuse the air chuck. Same with the big one. I made it to where when you swivel it up and around, it'll actually tilt up. You may be able to see at the bottom here. I've got a longer piece of PVC with the same clamps here, just spray painted black. I would have done gray, but I kind of like the fact that it stands out a little bit different too. But this is my long one. You can see this is actually a Black Max. It goes with my Honda pressure washer, but it doesn't have any type of quick connect. I know I could have done quick connects here and everything, but only quick connect I put on here was this one right here that goes to the hose. And so I use this for my concrete surface cleaner or anything bigger that I'm using with my gas pressure washer. I don't even use this really with my electric one. But it just goes straight down, and I made it to where when it goes past these PEX lines, it just folds over and it rests right on the edge of that. So that's my pressure washer setup. I probably have, I'm going to guess, probably about $250 in this whole thing. That's from PEX pipe to pieces to the new gun, all the clamps, all this hardware, and the and these shelf brackets. So probably about $250 is what I have in this whole setup, which isn't totally bad, considering everything I do. You'll notice this if you watch other of my videos. Everything I do is on a budget. Everything is done, but I also don't want to go extremely cheap where everything just starts breaking. There was really, I could have ran a water hose from my outside faucet. I could have ran it over here and put a splitter on it and then, hook this thing up that way. But I didn't figure that was the way to do it. Earlier in this video, you probably saw where I showed you all the PEX line and then the faucet bibs on the outside. Those are shark bite as well. Easiest thing to do when you're doing something on a budget and something easy where you don't have to have a lot of tools. These shark bite, this PEX pipe, you can buy. You can cut it with like an angle grinder wheel or something. You can cut the pieces you need. But let me show you this Milwaukee tool right here. This thing's great. It cuts the PEX pipe. I think it'll fit probably up to 1 inch. I've only got 1/2 inch because that's normally what your water line is. This is a Milwaukee PEX pipe cutter. Thing is, it cuts it like butter. So that right there, I think I saw it for $10 or $13 or something at Lowe's or Home Depot, whoever carries the PEX pipe fittings. But yeah, so probably around $250 is what you're looking at if you had to use as much as I did. Like I said, I spliced into the back water line that I already had existing, which is a copper line. So I had to splice it, cut it back a little and all that, and splice in and use about, I think I said 7 to 9 connectors. I think it was 9 connectors. Some are T-fitting, some are angle or right angle. Just depends on what you need for your project. But that pretty much sums it up. $250. That doesn't include the pressure washer hose, which I already had for many years. I've had this pressure washer hose for probably well over 10 years. And it got used to pressure wash driveways, cars. I haven't like babied this any, and it's hardly marred up at all or scratched up. It's kept it great. So I'm not sure the material, but it's a Neptune 3000 is the brand of the line. So anyways, I hope this video has helped somebody out and kind of giving you an idea of something you can do with your pressure washer setup. Like I said, in the future, I want to get a hose reel and mount it like right here near the end, and so it's kind of hanging out some, and all I got to do is unroll it, and it'll already be hardlined from this stainless hose. It'll already be hardlined to it, So all I got to do is wrap it up and be done. But that's kind of what sums it up. If you guys got any questions or anything, reach out to me and put a comment in there and I'll answer it. I'll try and put as many descriptions below as I can to direct you guys. This pressure washer here, I've noticed there is a huge range of prices on the internet. It goes anywhere from, I found as low as what I bought it for, which is about 112, all the way up to 200, I think. And it just depends on where you looked. I looked everywhere, eBay, Amazon, and the prices fluctuate like crazy. One day it'll be one price on a site, and the same site you'll come back a week later and the price has gone up. I'm not sure why, but this seems to be the baby for residential if you're not doing anything major. I'm only washing cars for the most part and maybe cleaning some stuff off. But anything hard I do, like I just pressure washed my driveway this past week, I use my gas pressure washer. It stays on for a while because I'm always got water running through the pump, so it's not going to burn it up, but I don't have to sit there and cut it on and off whenever I'm washing a car. This does it automatically for you. So for the small unit, they've got one on wheels with a big handle you can wheel around. I wasn't looking to wheel around. I was looking to stationary. I don't even have this thing mounted. I don't know if I didn't mention that probably. I don't even have this thing mounted, and it seems to stay there. With this stainless hose that I have running through there, it kind of keeps it in place, and I have Teflon tape on all these. And I tried, the reason this is up the way it is because I tried to take some weight off of this joint, off of the pump where it's at, to try and hang it up here so it was a little better than pulling it down. Otherwise, I'll just have this unhooked and have it draped over this. So anyways, hope this helps somebody. If you got any questions, like I said, just drop a comment down there. I'll try and answer it or whatever, or suggestions. And good luck. Soon I'll do a video on my garage setup because I've done major changes since I started this whole garage makeover as far as cleaning out how I organize things, how things are to stay, easier to get. My new cabinets, if you didn't watch that video, go back and watch that on why I recommend those. All right, well, I guess we'll see what's next. I'll get another video out here soon. I'm sorry it's taken so long to get this up, along with work and life. It just gets by me. So hope this helped you guys out, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.